I think is an important one for us right now. Everybody posts their or puts their rainbows in the windows, that we need to have hope. Gorse is for hope, and it's given to people who have lost hope in their ability to heal, their ability to come back to a state of normalcy. People who are just basically really desperate. Hornbeam is another essence from a tree, a flower essence from a tree. Hornbeam is given for this feeling of Monday morning. It's just going to be the same again, and we have to do the same all over again. So it's for a time where we feel like everything's repetitive and nothing is really no new things at the horizon. And I think for those, and all of us, most of us who are confined in our apartments, for some you're lucky to have a garden, but for those who are indoors a lot and don't have much contact with the outside world, this might be very helpful. Mimulus, a little yellow flower, little wildflower essence given to people who know what they're afraid of, for known fears. So it is given to give more courage, to help people recover their sense of finding a solution to what it is they're afraid of and facing the fears. Oak, a tree, as we know, with a very strong, with very deep roots and very strong trunk. Oak is for the person who never gives up, who is always there for others, who's carrying the load of the world, basically. There's a lot of tension in the neck of these people usually, and they just go on and on. They're the placid worker, the person who takes responsibility, who's relied upon. Oftentimes it's the mother in the family, sometimes it's the dad, who just makes sure that nobody gives up. And for these people, it just helps them be a little bit more supple, maybe, and take time to rest. Red chestnut, given to people who worry a lot about others, our family members. Usually it's a mother who worries about their children. It can be a dad, of course, as well. Sometimes it's a well-meaning friend who worries about others. We worry, we tend to worry, and even though it might be suppressed in our culture, we tend to have our minds very busy about what could happen, what would be the worst. And so this flower just helps us trust that people have their own resources and they can take care of themselves, even younger children, even teenagers. And so that helps with the trust aspect of it. Rock rose, a little yellow flower again. Rock rose is part of the rescue remedy that you might have heard about. Rescue remedy is the first aid remedy that was put together by Edward Bach to help with crisis on an overall level. So for people who are afraid to go take the plane, or who are afraid to go outside, even afraid to go to the dentist, or who are in a state of shock. So rock rose is one of the flowers of the rescue remedy. And so is Star of Bethlehem, that treats trauma, even older trauma from years ago, possibly. But it is a flower that will definitely work on soothing and giving other perspectives on the situation. We have vine that I would like to point out, because this time of confinement might also bring up issues in the family that no one can really escape from, because we're all confined together in the same space. Vine is for ego wrestling, or rapport de force, we say in French, when people are just measuring themselves, with others and their willpower versus the other person's. Sometimes it's for physical violence, for resistance to understand or have a different point of view. So wine is given to people who misuse their power. So I say that it could be for a parent that treats a child poorly, or his partner or her partner with disrespect. So wine just helps people use their power wisely. Walnut is, as we know in herbalism, it is a very powerful antibacterial essence, but as a flower it helps protect us from what's around us. So it's a flower remedy given to people who are too sensitive to what is happening around them. They need to come back to themselves and trust that they are protected on an energetic level. As we said, this is a vibrational medicine, so it is coming from the idea that we are energy before we are a physical matter, and it helps to be strong in our energetic protective shield. So, which is a good thing when we go out there and we feel that we're vulnerable to whatever is flying around, or to people around us who might be not always respectful. Even when you walk past, with the social distancing, sometimes you feel people can actually affect you just by looking at them or at you. So this one helps to stay a little bit more true to yourself. Water violet, for people who are naturally happy when they're by themselves, but in a time of confinement and isolation, they can become very unhappy and maybe too proud to ask for help, or don't allow themselves to say, I am lonely and I need contact. So for these people, water violet will be very helpful. It's going to help them become maybe a little more easygoing and humble and reach out. Wild rose, and we're almost done. Wild rose is a flower for resignation. So when we are in a state of not knowing anymore where all this is going, and being physically also sluggish and not wanting to move much, wild rose is helping to have a new outlook on life. And the rescue remedy is, as I said, the 5-flower remedy that is given in many other circumstances. So I will just kind of show you very quickly how this works. So we have the stock bottle, which is 2/3 of spring water, 1/3 of cognac or brandy, and the flower essence. So we have different brands. I go with this one for now because they are more easily available. This is from France. And we have a dropper bottle of about 40-50 ml filled with spring water. And what I do, I prepare a flower remedy according to the individual need of the person, and will add a certain amount of the remedy to the spring water, shake it in order to activate the active principles, the quality of the remedy, and label it, and it's available to, you can ask Diane at Spa Vert to find out more of how to get your own personal bottle. Otherwise, you can just go to the health food store and ask for the 38 Bach flower remedies. It was a pleasure talking to you about this. I hope you have a great day.